John Calipari versus Mark Stoops. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Okay, so John Calipari, if you have not seen this, first of all, bless you, but if you have not seen this, John Calipari was doing an interview during his trip to the Bahamas, and he was asked about upgrading the facilities for the basketball program. The practice facilities, I believe, specifically. I may be mistaken. And this is a quote. This was a quote from an article from The Athletic's Kyle Tucker. And this is what went viral on Twitter just a few days ago. This is what John Calipari said. He said, "This is a basketball school. Alabama is a football school. So is Georgia. No disrespect to our football team. I hope they win 10 games and go to bowls, but this is a basketball school." That is what John Calipari said. That is a quote from the, I believe, the video that KSR took, if I'm not mistaken. And essentially what Calipari was saying is that, man, this is a basketball school. We should have better facilities for the better sport, I guess is essentially what he was trying to say. Now, immediately, you think, if you read that, it's like, that is so offensive, right? Why would he say that? At what point does that benefit anybody? In your program, in the university, who does that help? And, we really didn't get an answer to that. We didn't really get an explanation as to who that helped. So Mark Stoops, the Kentucky football coach, quote tweeted it, the Kyle Tucker tweet, if I'm not mistaken, and said, "Basketball school. I thought we competed in the SEC. Hashtag 4 straight postseason wins." You note there that Stoops did not say bowl wins. He said postseason wins, kind of taking a jab, at least I feel like, at John Calipari not getting a postseason win this past year. And Stoops retweeted some things others were saying. I saw about, the comments that John Calipari made, those are offensive to the football team. Players started, I believe Max Duffy had a tweet saying something to the effect of, like, we haven't lost to St. Peter. I don't know who said it. It's just everybody started giving their opinion on this. And in my opinion, it's not like two petulant children going back and forth arguing with each other. But for these two grown adult coaches to have to go back and forth in a feud, arguing over, no, my sport's better, no, my sport's better, no, my sport's better, no, this is a football school, no, this is a basketball school. Guys, first of all, like I mentioned a second ago, who does this benefit? If you, Calipari, are trying to get new facilities, why would you complain and gripe about something else that is happening with another sport in your own program, in your own university? Why would you say that? Because Mitch Barnhart kind of came out and said, "I'm going to side with the football coach on this one because, he's not really asked for a ton. He's kind of stuck with me." And you, however, you've been a little bit of a problem. Now you've won, but I'm going to side with the football coach here because I can't get behind bashing one of my sports. And, Coach Cal said after, I think, Kentucky's third game of the Bahamas that he apologizes. He said, "I'm not a real smart guy. It's the Italian in me. I said the wrong thing." And then he tweeted this out. And this is a direct quote from his tweet. He said, "I was told comments about Mark Stoops made in his press conference," which I believe Mark Stoops in a press conference just sat there and was obviously upset. Cal said, "I reached out to Mark Thursday and we'll try again. Comparing our athletic department to others was my bad. I have supported Mark and the football team through the good and bad. I will continue to support them and cheer them on. Now I'll do what I've done for 30 years, coach my team and block out the clutter." Homie, you made the clutter. You were taking out the trash and you spilled it all over the kitchen floor. That was you that dropped that trash bag. Nobody else did it. Okay, Kyle Tucker. Now, some people may sit there and complain and say, "Oh, well, Kyle Tucker didn't get the full quote," or things were misinterpreted. It's clear it was a correct interpretation because the coach is apologizing. The coach is actually apologizing. People may get mad at Kyle Tucker, guys. This was started by John Calipari deciding that he was going to say something that he openly admits was stupid. Again, I want to go back to, this is kind of my takeaway from all of this. Everybody sitting here giving their opinion on all of this. Who does this benefit? And also, and this may sound harsh, because I know there are a lot of Kentucky fans listening to this podcast that probably care about the programs and the university and the culture and making sure that, we promote a healthy environment with whenever our coaches discuss things with each other or talk about their respective programs. I'm going to say this. Who cares? Okay, who cares? Right? For me right now, personally, I don't care what this guy has to say about upgrading the practice facilities if he's going to bash another one of our sports. I don't care that Mark Stoops feels the need to comment and say, guys, this is offensive. Now, obviously, it is offensive. Let's not get it skewed. I'm not ignoring the problem here. I'm not saying that these things aren't legitimate. What I'm saying is I don't care. Do you know why I don't care? Because we are less than 2 weeks to the start of football officially, but we are less than 3 weeks away from Kentucky's opener against Miami of Ohio. We have started fall camp. We've got fall camp notes. We're going to talk about that on tomorrow's show. Why do we feel the need in college football and within Kentucky also specifically, if we're going to talk about the Wildcats here for a second, over the past 2.5 years, every time we feel like we're going to finally get to discuss on the field football and basketball related things, another thing pops up. There's NIL. There's Texas and Oklahoma moving to the SEC. There's the transfer portal. College football and college basketball right now can't stay focused on college football and college basketball. As a fan of the sport, I'm so tired of watching people and coaches and people in power argue about things that aren't happening on the field. And the thing is, we can discuss that in the offseason. We can discuss those things. I'm not saying those are inherently bad, but it's not the season to talk about it. Guys, football and basketball is about to happen. Can we talk about the season? Can we talk about what's actually going to happen? Because I feel like there's been so much focus and attention put on all of these things that surround the sport that when we actually get into the sport and these coaches are having to keep up with NIL, the transfer portal, making sure kids are happy, recruiting their own roster after they get the freaking kid on campus, things are kind of starting to water down. The product is starting to water down. We're starting to see things matter less that used to make the sport special. And so I just want to see us as a collective, fans, coaches, people in the athletic departments, everybody in power, including the people that are working the TV deals. I want to see everybody do their thing, right? I want to see them work on these TV deals and these NIL deals and stuff like that, but I want to see us start to focus on the actual product. I want to see us start to focus on the games and the players and the schemes and the schedules. I want to see us start focusing on that because we are literally less than 3 weeks away. And I'll also say this, just to kind of wrap this up here. So Paul Finebaum, I know a lot of you, I say his name, and I already see you rushing to the comments. Guys, who cares about what Paul Finebaum has to say? And y'all don't sound like that. Although I've heard some callers call into his show and others and say things almost exactly like that. Finebaum decided to chime in on this whenever he was asked about it, I believe on Greg McElroy's podcast or show. And Finebaum essentially said that, that Coach Cal is not the best place, Kentucky's not the best place for Coach Cal to be, and Kentucky's making a bad decision with him, and that everything about this stinks for Cal on the basketball side of things, and he kind of sided with Stoops. I'm going to read some quotes here from Finebaum. Finebaum said, I mean, are you guys telling me you can't find a coach better than John Calipari right now? Billy Donovan? I'm just throwing a name out there. A young coach who is up and coming, take your pick. John Calipari is really no longer the best option for the University of Kentucky. First of all, gosh, man, if only Finebaum had been listening to all of us here within the Kentucky media world just a few months ago, whenever a small portion of the fan base, a loud portion of the fan base, was calling for things to change. If only he was listening, as we kind of very slowly broke down, okay, if he were to get fired, and the reason being that he's not winning national titles, he's not getting to Final Fours, is there a coach out there that Kentucky could logically pull from their job or logically hire that would do that? That is not locked into a lifetime contract himself. Is there a coach out there that could do that? Now, there are coaches that could do that in the sport, don't get me wrong, but the ones that could aren't leaving their jobs. The ones that could aren't leaving their jobs. So it's really, really difficult to sit here and say Calipari's not the best option for the University of Kentucky. That may be true. We could sit here and argue about that. That may be true. There's not a better option that Kentucky could logically go and get right now. So it's not necessarily we're stuck with him because he is a good coach, but we're stuck with him. Something else that Feinbaum said. Complaining about how, Calipari made everything about the Bahamas trip about himself, which I disagree with, but I'm going to read the quote. Feinbaum said they had the stage to themselves. 4 days in the Bahamas and Calipari blew it. Quite frankly, I don't know where he goes to get it back. Just listening to our audience, and we have a lot of Kentucky fans that call in, they're very mixed on him right now. Dude, they were very mixed on him back in the spring. Not a whole lot has changed, and to be quite honest, these comments that I personally believe should not have been made, shocker, I don't really think they change where the fan base as a whole stands on him. I also think that the Bahamas trip was not all about Calipari. It was about what was actually happening with the team. You go and read, and you go and listen, you go and look anywhere on the internet. You will see discussions in Kentucky areas about John Calipari and Mark Stoops, but you will also see a lot of positivity talking about the team and their ability to do some special things this season. It was not all about him during this trip. I personally paid way less attention to what Stoops and Calipari were saying because, again, I want to talk about what's actually stinking happening on the court and on the field. I paid way more attention to, guys, Jacob Toppin's playing really well. Damian Collins is playing out of his mind. Now, he didn't hit a three, but still he's playing well. Cason Wallace, Adu Thiero, Chris Livingston, and Antonio Reeves, and C.J. Frederick, these newcomers, although Frederick's been in the program, guys, they're really, really good players. I'm excited about this rotation, about this team, about their ability to go and potentially win a title or get close to it. I think that we're making things about things that don't matter. And I know that's a weird way to phrase that. But I want to follow this up here with a final quote from Feinbaum, and then we'll get to the AP Top 25. Feinbaum essentially said everything right now is about football. And he said this, and it's a direct quote. I don't need to explain Kentucky basketball, but you and I understand in 2022, when billion-dollar deals are being made across the board, it's about football. It's not about basketball. You might have legitimately been able to have heard Mike Krzyzewski say a year ago that we're a basketball school, but even at Duke today, you probably couldn't make that statement, and you certainly can't make it at Kentucky. I think you could probably make the statement at Duke. Now, it wouldn't be received well, but I feel like the national media would be the ones that weren't so thin-skinned, the media types that weren't so thin-skinned, they had to comment on this. I feel like a lot of people would say, or not say, they would just quietly agree, yeah, Duke's football program has never really been phenomenal, and the basketball program historically one of the best. And it's a basketball school. Shocker. Just because we point it out doesn't make it offensive. It's true. It's a fact. It's a basketball school. And I also want to point this out. Okay, so it is important, right, that billion-dollar deals are being made, that college football clearly from a financial standpoint, from a revenue generation standpoint, does a lot more things than what college basketball does. From a national perspective, Paul Feinbaum is right. He's wrong, though, about saying that everything is about football, because there are so many schools across the country that care so much more about basketball and are in the fans in the university so much more invested in basketball that it makes no sense to say everything is about football. Kentucky being a prime example. He said, I don't need to explain Kentucky basketball. You're right, you don't. That's the end of the sentence. I don't need to explain Kentucky basketball. It is one of the best, if not the best program out there for basketball. The school, the fan base is naturally going to be more inclined to talk about basketball. No matter how much people say or comment now oh, the football program's doing well. This is a football school now. It's not. It's the same thing with you Auburn fans out there that say it's a basketball school now. No, it's not. Shut up. It's not. It's not what you think it is, because the majority of the fan base still holds true to Kentucky basketball. And I know that there are going to be some of you in the comments that say, well, Lance, that's a little harsh because, like, the football team's doing really, really well, and, like, we support it, and it's more interesting to us now. I'm not discounting that. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. And also, don't misconstrue this. The football program's doing well right now. It's fun to watch. I like it. It's not that I dislike it. But let's be straight here. A lot more people, and it may not be you specifically, it's not necessarily me specifically. I love college football so much that we're just going to talk about the AP Top 25 here to round out the show. A lot more people are invested in this basketball program. At Kentucky, it is way more important. Basketball is way more important. That's all I'm going to say. That was a very, very long segment ranting about John Calipari and Mark Stoops. And it's, again, guys, 3 weeks away, college football. I want to talk about the AP Top 25.